Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Texas Gal Treasures. Today, I am here to share with you the things that I've sold on eBay and Etsy. I have made over $1,700 on these items. It's about a little over 50 items that I wanted to share with you today. And I am live, so if you are watching live, then make sure you say hey in the chat. Let me know you're here so we can cha-ching, so that we can continue. I don't know what I lost. That cha-ching totally made me lose my train of thought. So I don't know what I was saying. So I can say hey back and we can talk. And if you have any questions while I am going, then please drop them in the chat as well. And if you're watching later, thank you so much for being here. I will be talking to the chat. So I know sometimes people get a little frustrated by that, but I haven't talked to you guys in a little bit. I've had a bit of a hiatus, finally just started making some videos again. So I'm super glad to be back and can't wait to see who shows up to say hello in the chat. So let's get started. I am going to start. Oh, and also let me know, because I'm fiddling with this StreamYard thing that I'm working on, and the background was like flipped. So let me know if it looks right to you, if it looks like that is pointing in the right direction, or if I have it mirrored wrong, because I second guess myself, that's just the way it is. All right, let's do this. So starting off, and as you guys know, I sell lots and lots of different things. And sometimes I like to sell little toys. They're so fun, even if they don't bring in a lot of money. So sometimes I'll get a bag of like toys like this and just part them out, and they're fun. And sometimes there are ones in there that were worth a lot of money, and sometimes they're not. This was just a cute little alien that sold. I took an offer of $10 on that. This is something that sold recently. If you see here where it's in red, that means either I took an offer or it was on sale. The price was somehow different than what was posted there. So these are a set of 4 plates that sold. They were little, like, what are they called? Like dessert plates, little, not quite salad plates, but they were small, and they sold for $100. And I got these at the Goodwill. I think I paid $2 or $3 a piece on those, but it was totally worth it. Oh, good question. Heather says, what's the significance of wearing the same earrings all the time? I actually was wearing different earrings yesterday. I'm trying to branch out. But the reason I wear the star earrings all the time is because they make me happy. It's as simple as that. When I put them on or I see myself in the mirror and I'm like, my stars, they just make me happy. That's why. And when they stop making me happy, I'll stop wearing them. Yeah. So that's easy answer, right? All right. So these, it's worth checking out. So if you're checking through the plates, or, I mean, these kind of jumped out to me because they were kind of cute. And so I thought, okay, I'll check those out. But there are some breakable things you'll see in a minute that I'm like, oh, I'm not going to do that again. I had there's a little bit of drama and intrigue in some of these things that sold. All right, so this Star-Studded Comics sold for $80. I took an offer on this because I did have these. I've had these up for a while. This was in that big lot that we got maybe 2-3 years ago, of comic books and National Lampoon's, Mad magazines, this huge lot, and like horror magazines and things like that for $60. And so this has been making money hand over fist. This is one of those items or times when I buy a big lot of things and it's not, people, my brains are just like, what's the word? They look it up and oh my gosh, you guys, sell-through rate. There it is. So when you're checking, some people are like, oh, it's got a bad sell-through rate, I'm not buying that. I throw that out the window. So because I got this huge lot for $60, right? Sell-through rate. Now this sold, I got this last summer at garage sales for $5. This was a Pottery Barn. Why did it take so long to sell, you might ask? Well, because it took me that long to list it. I took forever to get this thing listed. I think I got it listed and it was up for like a month. So if you want to feel better about how much inventory you've got that is unlisted, there you go. I've had it for about, oh yeah, quite a while. Okay, so next up, so this sold for $55. All right, the next thing that sold here is this set of mid-century modern art glasses. And I got these just because I thought they were super cool. And I took an offer of $28 on them. When I was taking pictures of them, one fell over and broke. So I did have 6 to start with, but only 5 of them made it to the final cut. So they finally got sold. And I just did not enjoy having these and selling these. So there's that. All right, next up, we are looking at this little mini horseshoe. I honestly don't remember where I got this. It was probably in a lot of other stuff. And so I finally got this up and sold, and it sold for $10. Nice. Then this was in a huge lot of pinback buttons that I got for $25. And this is another one that they've just been selling over time. Made lots of money off of these buttons over time. They're super easy to photograph and list and ship and store. So they've been a great thing to sell. So this one sold for $18. Then next up, these were a pair of cheaters. These were ones that like clicked with a magnet right in the front of your face, and they sold for $20. Hello, Julie. Nice to see you. How's Penelope today? She's fabulous, darling. Thanks. I'm so glad to see you here too. Thank you so much for being here. Yay. I know it's been a little bit, so people are like, is Margaret really live? Yes, I am. All right, next. And I think I got these for $1 at a garage sale. Then I got these Lego. I got a bunch of Lego sets that were already opened, and some of them just needed to be reconstructed. And this was one of them, and it had most of the pieces. And I took an offer of $40 on this right here. Then this was a Firefly Serenity Loot Crate pin, and this was from a Loot Crate box, because we used to get the Loot Crates, and I figured, well, I'll keep some of it. I'll sell what I don't want. And so this is, again, stuff that's just been selling over time. And actually, Alan Tredick is going to be at the Denver Fan Fest this year. So we're not paying for the photo op, but I'm kind of excited because even when they do all the autographs, he'll be sitting out there. And if you don't know, he was in Firefly, and he is also in that Resident Alien. He's been in a bunch of other stuff. He was in 28 Days Later with Sandra Bullock, and he's the voice of Hey Hey in Moana. So that's a fun fact. He's the one that goes and all the stuff makes all the chicken noises. Hey Hey's the chicken. Yeah. All right. Then this Steiff teddy bear sold. This one sold for $38, and I was kind of surprised when I got it because I think I paid $5 for it. And this is the moment, this one or the one before that I sold, that I realized not all Steiff sells for a crazy amount of money. And this one, I was like, oh, yay, Steiff. Okay. But it didn't sell for a whole lot. So there's some that sell for more than others. But it's a great brand to keep in mind when you're looking through stuffed animals. Here's another pinback button that sold, again, from that same lot that I bought for $25. This one was a Mondale. I'm wondering why. Sometimes I just want to ask the buyer, like, what's up with this? What made you want to buy this Mondale button? So this one sold for $18.89. These so far are all eBay, and then we'll hit the Etsy listings here in a little bit. So this is a little misting water bottle that sold for $10. Another one that I just got at a garage sale. And then here's another one that sold from that big comic book and magazine lot that I got a couple years back. This one sold for $16.09. Don't forget the 9 cents. Here's another one that sold for $18.89, and that is also a cult magazine. Then this one, I actually got a message on eBay today from another seller about this. And I had two, I had two, now I have one of these Fallout Christmas tree skirts. And this one I took an offer of $70. I went back and forth, and the guy, or I'm guessing it was a guy, that was messaging me, asking me about the one I still had up because he's watching it, he said, and was like, your price is crazy. And he was wondering what the one that did sell sold for, and it sold for $70. So the reason I did this is because there were not a lot up there Fallout is a super niche, a lot of people that like it, they really like it. And yeah, I mean, I didn't really have a whole lot to go on as far as what to price it at. So I thought, you know what? You don't see Fallout Christmas tree skirts very often. I'm going to go ahead and put a pretty big number on it. And so I'm leaving the other one up there at the same price because the Fallout, the next season is going to be coming out pretty soon. And that is something that might sell for a good price. These hobnail lamps sold for $65. I got those at an estate sale for $5 a piece. Again, last summer. And again, just took me a really long time to get them listed. Then let's see what else we got here. This is something that I bought recently and was very good about getting them photographed and listed. And these sold for $13.99. They're little frosted Hummel figurines. And then this Jim Shore figure sold for $31.49. Again, also think I paid about $5 for this one. And this Wavy Willards also was from Fallout. We ordered the Fallout Loot Crate because it's something my kids like playing the game. We liked watching the show. And then we were really disappointed that the Fallout Loot Crate was a lot of Fallout. It was really heavy with Fallout 76, which is not the version that they like. And so a lot of the references were from things that they don't really enjoy. So ended up putting up a lot of the stuff to sell from that Loot Crate. And then this deer skin, let me try to make this bigger. There you go. Or I can make me smaller. How about that? Boop, there. So this deer skin buffalo vest sold for $70. I took a best offer on that. Another one of these Wavy Willard signs sold. So I was happy to see that go as well. And here's another Firefly Loot Crate pin that sold for $13.99. And then this was one of those cafe style coffee mugs, and this sold for $17.49. Winsteads. I just thought the design on it was pretty cool, and I looked it up, and it was, it wasn't selling for too bad. So I thought, okay, let me go ahead and pick that one up. Pardon me while I take a sip of water. Excuse me. All right. This is a vintage style black cat mask, but it wasn't actually vintage. And this one sold for $12.59 on eBay. And it was one that was from the Halloween store. What's the Halloween store called? They pop up Spirit Halloween. That's what it's called. And then here, I share, I like to sell these little toys. They're just so fun. They make me happy. So Chicken Run, 3 little Chicken Run toys sold for $11.89. I love the studio that makes the Chicken Run and Wallace and Gromit. They're just a lot of fun to watch. And then this Lionel Disney Christmas train was so fun. I was so tempted to keep it. And when I put a video with it, and when the train goes around, the engine would puff little bits of smoke. It was really cute. And I sold this one for $150. And there was a button on the remote, and it would have Mickey, saying Christmassy things to you. It's pretty cute. And then these screwback earrings, I took an offer of $30 on. I hope you guys are doing okay. Probably just soaking it in. I see people in the I see you in the viewers, but nobody's chatting in the chat. But that's okay. If anything pops up that you have questions about, though, please let me know. Here's another one. This was from the Fallout crate. Same reason. This wasn't from the Fallout. What's the one that they Fallout 11? I don't know. Somebody will have to tell me. But Fallout 76 was not the ones that my kids enjoyed playing. It was Fallout 4. That's it, isn't it? So this I sold for $20. Another one of these buttons, it sold for $10. Got in that lot for $25. Oh, hello from Australia. Nice to see you. Hello, hello. What a beautiful smile you have. All right, next up. I lost my screen. One sec. There it is. I found it. The next thing we've got going over here, another button. This is an RT Metro, $23.99. This reminds me, do you guys watch Love on the Spectrum? Oh, the last season was so touching. And one of the girls, I can't think of her name, but she just loved the train in her town. The T, that's what it was called. And so it was just so sweet. Anyway, made me think of her. Then this patch sold for $15.99. I got this patch in a box of patches from a guy. I went to a garage sale. It was one of those, he had like one card table out, maybe some shoes on the sidewalk or on the driveway. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go see what's on that table. Normally I'm like, I don't want to stop for this. So I stopped at this garage sale, went up, and the box that he had a shoe box on the table, and it was full of like Harley patches and patches like this and keychains. And it's brought in a lot of money. So I bought the whole box for $5. And yeah, it's been a pretty good profit. So sometimes it's worth getting out even for those little garage sales like that. And then this, I love selling copper items like this. There's some copper where it's like copper chef, not that one, but these that are like solid copper, and they'll a lot of times be marked. This one, I'm not sure you'll be able to see it, but right there it says made in France. So sometimes they'll say made in France, or I think I sold another one that was from Korea. And this I got at the Goodwill for maybe $4.99, $5.99. It was really cheap. And it sold for $75. So it's definitely worth looking for those copper pieces. It's almost, I think everything I've listed that was copper like this sold super fast. Definitely worth it. Are we on Etsy now? Yeah, we're on Etsy now. So these are things that sold on Etsy. I cross-post my items on eBay and Etsy, and it's really easy. It's not a commercial for List Perfectly, but I use List Perfectly. I used to also list on Mercari, Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace, but it just got to be too much for me. Yeah, so I stopped, and I just right now I'm focusing on eBay and Etsy, and it's working out fine for me. But I still do use the cross-posting app because it makes it a lot easier to post things there. Oh, hey, yay. I'm missing some stuff in the chat, so let's see. You've been putting back old pin buttons for a while now. Oh, yeah, oh, nice. That's a good idea, putting them in the garage sale. How do you sell? Oh, yeah, I sell them as singles, the buttons. They're just so easy, and I don't mind waiting. Some of them sell fast, and so it just seems like every week 2 or 3 more will sell, and it's that padding. I call it, I know some people say bread and butter, but I say bricks and mortar. So it's like the bricks are these big sales, like the copper, the $75 and stuff like that. And the mortar are those little sales that holds all the bricks together, those little sales that really make it a solid house, right? Copper sells well for you too. Hey, Ricky Vintage. Let's see. I sell the buttons on both eBay and Etsy. So I put the same items on eBay and Etsy, unless newer things I can't put on Etsy. But unless it's a supply, there's always caveats to that. This one I had a bit of drama with, you guys. So this is a puzzle that sold for $50. And I don't get a whole lot of bad reviews, but this person left me a bad review. But it's nice because you can go in and put what happened. And what it is that this, I can't see. Yeah, oh, you can kind of see. So you see how the box is cracked there? And the person got it, and the box was cracked. And there were other photos showing that as well. And it did crack a little bit more, and a piece kind of came off of it. But she was saying, oh, the box that it came in, the shipping box was smushed and all of this stuff. And I was like, no problem, send me a photo of that. Send me, a couple more pictures so I can file a claim. No big deal. But if I don't have a picture of a smushed package, then the post office is not going to, let me file a claim, or they'll let me file a claim, but they won't, let me have the money from it if I file the claim. And so I, said, hey, can you send me a picture of the box and all of this? And we'll just say we got some profanities back, and it ended with F it, only, the actual, and then they ended up leaving me a bad review. I'm like, I just wanted a picture of the box, like no big deal, right? And then I would have had no problem so then it just started feeling like buyer's remorse because she didn't send me a picture of the box. But I mean, she could have just said, I'd like to return this. I don't want it. I'm like, okay, cool. I take returns. No biggie. No biggie. But I guess biggie. So next up, we had this creepy magazine. Again, this is another one that sold from that big lot that I got. This one sold for $21.24. Let's see. Sales have been, hang on, let me show. Oh, they've been slow. Oh no. They've been okay for me. Jewelry's still selling. I haven't been listing as much jewelry as I need to. Sales slow, but jewelry's still moving. That's good to know. I haven't been listing as much jewelry. I have a lot, but I haven't been listing a lot of it. So I've been trying to get some of my bigger stuff listed. So this teacup and saucer sold. I have been selling a bit of teacups and saucers lately, which it's been really nice. So this sold for $19.99. Got this at Goodwill, maybe $2 or $3. And then this, where did I get this? It was probably from either a jewelry jar or I got at a garage sale for probably under $1. And this is one of these where, I get people that'll tell me when I'm doing the jewelry unboxings and I share, oh, I think I'll be able to get $20 for this. Or I think, and I've had people say, you are dreaming and you are misleading people that they can get $20 for that piece of unsigned jewelry. It's not even vintage. I mean, some people rake me over the coals when I'm like, oh, okay, the proof is in the pudding because it does sell. So this was unmarked, no signature, just a curly feather leaf thing. And it sold for almost $24. So it sells. You may not sell tomorrow. It might take a little bit of time, but that one wasn't up for too long. And then this one was up maybe a month and a half, and it was a really pretty vermeil. So it's that gold over sterling silver, and it sold for $75. Pretty nice, huh? And then this lighter sold. This sold for $25. I'm trying to think where I got this. I feel like it was in a bag of stuff because sometimes you'll get a bag of stuff, right? At a garage sale or something. And then here's another one. This is another one where it's like, it's not marked. It's not like, it's just one of these cuff bracelets and it sold for $28. It sells. Take good pictures. And if it's a nice piece that doesn't have, damage and things like that, it could sell. So yeah, prove them wrong, people. And then this little Vans wallet sold for $51. And you might be wondering, why would this Vans wallet sell? Because you might see them all around. But because it has this gray and black, it's a little more challenging to find, or it was. I'm not sure if it still is. So a lot of times you'll see the off-white and black or the white and black, but the gray and black was a little more either desirable or just harder to find, one or the other. And then pinking shears, I usually pick them up. I've kind of slowed down on picking up scissors and pinking shears. This one sat for a little while for me. But if it's a certain, I can't think of the name of it. Oh, my mom told me. There's a Japanese brand of scissors that are really nice. So a lot of times I used to pick up a lot of ones that were from Germany or Japan. I don't know if it was just because they were pinking shears that they took forever to sell. Maybe that might have been the thing. If you know, let me know. Another button. This one sold for $16. And this is the flat wrapping paper. Oh my gosh. And when I was back in the Houston area, I got a whole bunch of it. And it was like, I had gone to an auction and I bought, it was a big giant tote full of this flat wrapping paper, and it just sold and sold and sold, so well. And so I just, at the local thrift store here, it's like a church run one, and they had a bag of it, and it was like $1 a thing. And I knew some of them would probably sit, they weren't as desirable, but some of them like this with Wishbone and then some Snoopy ones that I got, I knew we're going to do really well. So this sold for $27.99. And then here's Woodstock that sold for $25. So don't overlook that flat wrapping paper. So this was the Hallmark, I think you know what I'm talking about. So $25 on that one. This is another, I bought this with the lamps that you saw earlier. I bought a few different hobnail milk glass pieces. This one sold for $40. And then these, I still love selling these expandable wall hooks. I've got, I think, 2 more listed, and I think I have 3 or 4 that I need to get listed. And, if I can pick these up at a garage sale for $1 or $2 and sell them for $25, $30, usually in that range, depending on the quality of them, how many hooks they have, how do they look just standard? There's a lot of different things. So this sold for $28. Let's see. Are my items plus postage? Yes, they are. I think I did one thing, the pillow earlier with the octopus. I did sell that with free shipping because the person, and we were going back and forth trying to figure out the price. They wanted me to come down on the price. And so they were like, would you do this at free shipping? And so we finally worked that out. But normally I don't. So everything here, the buyer pays shipping. So it's that on top. Yeah. Let's see. You got a load of 50s and 70s wrapping paper, Christmas. Nice. Just send it to me. We sell it. It's so good. You can sell it. Totally. People use it for all kinds of stuff. Craft it. I'm going the wrong way. Crafting, etc. And then here's this hard rock pin. We were at the Goodwill and my kids saw this big bag of Hard Rock Cafe pins like this and ran and grabbed them. Excuse me. And my kid was going to part them out and do the work and then didn't want to. And so I bought them so that I could do it. But I was like, you know what? I have to give them props for that. I still need to finish listing the rest of them. This is one of those where, oh my gosh, I need to train my kids better. One of them in particular on taking photos because they want to work for me sometimes and they want to make some extra money. And so I was like, okay, this is easy. Take pictures of these pins. Well, I need to stop them after 4 or 5 and check. Because then I got all these photos that I couldn't use because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is one of the ones that I was able to salvage. Oh boy. I guess it's just my standards. I need to train them better. This is from a box of flashcards that I got. Again, I've had the box for a while, but it was all alphabet cards. Pardon me, I've got to take a sip of water. My throat's getting dry. And I thought they were so cool, but when I bought the box at a garage sale, I didn't realize there were a few missing from the box, but it turned out to be even better than it was because the whole box, I think, sold for $25 if you had all the alphabet, but parting them out and selling each one for around $16 has been so much more profitable. Sure, it's taken longer for them to sell over time, but it's just in a little box. It's just, it sits on the shelf, no big deal. Easy to store, easy to ship, all that. So $16 on that, fantastic. Yeah. All right, and then this was also in the lot of magazines and horror, all of that stuff. This sold for $67.24. That just sold recently. This one, I shipped this out yesterday, and it was like an auto numbering stamp. So it was like when you stamp it, it flips to the next number. And this one sold for $20. And then these 2 glass bangles, those actually sold today, so I need to ship those out. These I just listed recently, and these sold for $20 as well. And that's that, you guys. That's the sales. Let me check and see. Okay, I don't see any other questions there. I'm so grateful that you came to hang out, and let me know something that sold really well for you lately. And I am getting back on it. So I know I've been getting some messages asking, where have I been? And when am I going to start doing jewelry videos again? So it's coming. And you might notice I'm in a different spot. So we moved where I record and make the videos upstairs because I have been in the basement. And I just didn't like going in, I felt like I was going into the dungeon. Had to go to work down in the dungeon. And I didn't want to do that. So we transformed. This was our Zen room. And we called it the Zen room, but we had singing bowls and all just cozy space in here. And so I thought, we're not in there. We got enough Zen in our lives. Let's just change this into the office. So that's where we are now. Okay, I will see you soon. Thanks so much for hanging out. And I'll talk to you on the next one. Thank you, everybody. Bye.